All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jordan with Zulu Outdoor and Zulu 24. We're gonna sit down and talk about the RDX Technologies B.O.S.S system. Now, if you guys have been at the field this weekend, you saw that we have 3 of these. The B.O.S.S system is super cool. So the B.O.S.S system is the Ballistic Ordnance Sound Simulator. It is a super cool piece of tech developed by RDX Technologies. They are a New Zealand-based company. They actually tried to market this to the US about 8 years ago, and it didn't really track well. So they took a step back and started doing some other stuff like government contracts, making blank fire rifles, as well as LAV simulators for New Zealand military. Super cool stuff. But they decided to try and take another shot at bringing it to the US market, and we think it's here to stay. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly does it do? Got one. The B.O.S.S system actually creates a 120 to 150 decibel quote unquote gunshot sound every time you fire your rifle. Now, this is cool because if you go to games where they allow blank fire sounds awesome, but it doesn't give you the ability to actually hit someone with a BB. Myself included, I've done blank fire before at these events. And it's cool right up until you shoot at someone and they don't really call it. So this bridges the gap. Now having the ability to create a blank fire system for your Airsoft rifle, you can actually shoot BBs, still be effective, and it sounds awesome. Now the B.O.S.S system is super cool, and the best part about it is it can be pretty much wired up into any Airsoft replica you have already. So myself, I have a Polar Star Kythera, which we have wired the B.O.S.S system into. We also have a Sistema PTW, as well as a normal VFC 416 with a Jeftron MOSFET in it. We didn't just pick the easiest option. We didn't just wire it up to an LMG because we could. We decided that we're gonna try and actually figure out how to make these systems applicable to the guns you guys are already using on the field every weekend. Now, how exactly does the B.O.S.S system work? When you open the packaging, there's actually going to be 2 wiring harnesses inside. This is so you could wire it up to 2 different guns. It has to be directly wired into your gun's trigger unit, whether it be the PTW, whether it be something with a Jeftron, whether it be an AEG with a gate, or just basic bare bones trigger contacts. It has to be wired in. That's the most complicated part of this entire process, is finding out exactly where it needs to go on the gun. I have it in a Kythera, which was even harder because we actually had to make a custom wire harness to make it fit, because the Kythera doesn't actually have a battery to begin with. So for something that's an AEG, it actually runs off of the same battery that the entire gun is running off of. So you don't have to worry about a second battery, you just have to wire it into the system. Once you do that, it's very simple. There's actually a fill valve right here on the handguard for you to use propane or MAP gas. It specifically states in the user manual, do not use green gas. We opted to use MAP gas, and we've been having great results with it. I've already gassed up the unit because this is actually the 5th time I'm filming this scene. So I'm not gonna demo it on this video. We're just gonna say it's filled. Now, once you do that, there's actually on the left side of the unit a gas adjustment valve. So you can overgas it, undergas it, you can adjust the amount of gas that the unit is actually using based off of the climate, the temperatures, and how the unit is running. There's also 2 buttons over here to adjust your rate of fire or put it into what we've been calling God mode, where you can actually make the unit fire from just pressing the button on the side. There is also a tiny USB-C drive on the unit right in front of the Mach M203 trigger. This serves two purposes. So one, it actually has your gas adjustment tool on it, so I can stick this into the unit and actually adjust the gas. But this USB-C drive is how you do the firmware updates in the event that RDX puts out some kind of software update for the unit. This is also the master key to your unit. These USB-C drives are individually serialized and will not work in any other B.O.S.S unit. They will only work in yours. So don't lose it, and don't prank your friend by trying to steal his USB-C drive, because that could kill his unit if you lose it. Once I put it back into the unit, you're gonna hear the unit turn back on, and we're ready to go. It's got gas in it, it's wired up, and it's that simple. Now, every time I pull the trigger, it's going to ignite a small portion of that gas, and it's gonna cycle the buffer system. And that's how the B.O.S.S system works. It's really cool. Now, what's Zulu's relationship with RDX? Full disclosures, right? Zulu had to buy these. There was no quid pro quo. We had to outright buy the units that we have. So while yes, there was only 15 to 20 released worldwide as of this point, we think, we had the opportunity to buy 3, and that was what we did. This was not some kind of exchange where RDX sent us the unit so we would say good things about it. We actually genuinely love the product, and that's why we're pushing it so hard right now. All right, let's talk a little bit about hearing protection. I cannot stress enough to you how important hearing protection is. When you initially open up your B.O.S.S system and you go to register it with the warranty program, the first 3 pages are all about hearing protection and understanding how loud the system is. I understand the videos may not do it justice, but this is an extremely loud product. The first time we fired one of these, we made the mistake of shooting it in the shop without hearing protection on. My ears are still kind of ringing from that. You need to be wearing some form of electronic hearing protection when you are using a B.O.S.S system. I cannot stress that to you enough. This is damaging levels of sound. So if you plan on purchasing one of these, you need to invest in a good pair of hearing protection. I'm wearing MSA Sordens right now, Comtax, Howard Lights, anything of that nature, some kind of electronic hearing protection that gives you active protection and the ability to still hear what's going on around you is going to be perfect for this unit. So this is by no means a review. This is very much an overview, an initial impressions. What do I think about the product after using it for 2 days? This is amazing. This is the coolest piece of technology to come to the airsoft industry in the last 10 years. I described it when I came off the field by saying, this is exactly what 13-year-old me wanted airsoft to be like when I first started playing. I now have the ability to put BBs downrange, hear the audible feedback from the B.O.S.S system cycling, as well as the felt recoil that it provides with the buffer system. There are 2 buffers included in the box with it. I currently have the heavyweight buffer installed, which slows the cyclic rate down. However, it does increase the felt recoil of the system cycling. Included in the box initially installed is the aluminum buffer, which will up the cyclic rate but lower the felt recoil. So you get to decide as the end user which buffer you want to use. Honestly, test them both. Some people might prefer the lightweight buffer. I wanted the heavy buffer because this is a semi-auto gun at a semi-auto field, so I don't need to worry about how fast the gun's going to cycle. Now, this is an amazing product. Not only does it add to my experience as an airsofter, but for every single person on the field, it adds to their experience. Much like in the same way when we have the helicopter here for events or when we have the mortar system out, it adds to the overall experience of every single player, even if they're not using it. I had players coming up to myself as well as Dave at the end of the games going, dude, that was so cool. I wasn't even near you guys and I could hear it going off. It made the experience way better because now it actually sounds more realistic. We're not hearing the gearbox noises. We're not hearing the Kythera reset. We're not hearing Anthony's gear cycle. We're not hearing the PTW like zip. You're not hearing it anymore because all you're hearing is the B.O.S.S system.
We need to push the mosque now. We need to move now.
Now I know what you're thinking. This is going to be perfect for a game like Milsim West. I agree. I think this is going to be one of the coolest things you can bring to a Milsim West game. However, I don't get to make the rules there, so I don't know if they're going to allow this system. Provided they do, I will personally be using one of these at a Milsim West game later this year. This is an amazing piece of technology. I cannot say that enough. It truly does allow you to bridge the gap between blank fire and airsoft, putting BBs downrange, still being effective, and still making those loud noises that you get with blank fire. It is an awesome piece of technology that I cannot say enough good things about. However, we plan on running these hard. We plan on running these until they break, provided they do. And we will keep you guys updated on if or when anything goes wrong and what we had to do to fix it or mitigate it. Now, this is not a product that we want to gatekeep. This is not something that we want to sit here and go, look how cool it is, but you guys can't get it. We want you to have it. Dave and I have been waiting over 8 years for this product, and we are so excited now that it's here. We think it elevates the entire experience for everyone on the field just because there's one of them. Having 2 on the field simultaneously was amazing. This weekend, we're going to find out how it is having 3 of them on the field at the same time. Things like that we are going to keep you up to date with. We're also going to keep you up to date with the availability of them. When they are finally here and we're able to sell them, we're going to. This is not a product that we want to gatekeep. This is something that we want every airsofter to have if they choose to.
Hi. Move, 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 move.
This is a super cool piece of technology. I cannot harp on it enough how important it is to be wearing hearing protection when you're using this system. The videos do not do it justice. It is an extremely loud system. We plan on making more content with the B.O.S.S system as time goes on. Like I said, we will keep you updated if something goes wrong with any of the units and how we fix them. But for now, if you want to check one out, come down to the shop, stop by the field, annoy Anthony so much that he has to make another video with it. We will let you guys see it. We will let you guys shoot it. I know Dave's was basically running all day on Sunday because of the amount of people that wanted to shoot it. It's super cool, and we're so excited they're finally here. And when they're available, we will let you guys know because we want you to have these products. That being said, that's all I got.
I'm having so much fun. I am having so much fun. This thing is so fun. Every person that gets shot is just, yeah, it's perfection.